little ship and she sailed on the sea. The name of the ship was the Merry Golden Tree, sailing on the low and lonesome low, sailing on the lonely lowland sea. They hadn't been out scarce days 2 or 3 before they sighted the British robbery, sailing on the low and lonesome low, flaunting the Jolly Roger on the lowland sea. Up jumps the captain, a wringing of his hands, and he cries, "Oh Lord, and what will we do? She'll sink us in the low and lonesome low, sink us to the bottom of the lowland sea." Up and spoke a little cabin boy, says, "What will you give me if I them destroy? If I sink 'em in the low and lonesome low, sink 'em to the bottom of the lowland sea." "Well, I'll give you gold and I'll give you fee, my youngest daughter, and you shall married be, if you sink 'em in the low and lonesome low, sink 'em to the bottom of the lowland sea." So he jumped overboard and away swam he, until he came to the British robbery, where some was playing cards and some was at the dice, and some was a-taking their best friend's advice, as she sailed on the low and lonesome low, sailed on the lonely lowland sea. Well, he had a little tool just right for the use, and he bored 9 holes just to let in the juice. Some threw their hats and some threw their caps, they could not stop them saltwater gaps. She sank in the low and lonesome low, sank to the bottom of the lowland sea. Then he turned on his breast and away swam he, until he came to the Merry Golden Tree. "Captain, oh Captain, take me on board, and do unto me just as good as your word, for I sank 'em in the low and lonesome low, sank 'em to the bottom of the lowland sea. Well, I won't pay you gold, nor yet pay your fee, my youngest daughter shall never marry thee. I'll leave you in the low and lonesome low, leave you to drown in the lowland sea. If it wasn't for your daughter, nor yet for your men, I'd do unto you just as I did to them." But he turned on his breast and away swam he. "Fare you well, you merry golden tree, I'm drowning in the low and lonesome low, drowning in the lonely lowland sea." That was the Merry Golden Tree, and it came from the singing of Mrs. Almeida Riddle of Heber Springs, Arkansas. I first met her in 1959 when I was on a field recording trip with Alan Lomax. What I find remarkable about that ballad is that it's still sung in England and had been sung for at least a couple of 100 years, and yet it travelled so many thousand miles across the Atlantic that the settlers took the songs with them. But then there was another journey of another couple of 1,000 miles across the country, across your vast continent. It's absolutely extraordinary story. The next song is quite extraordinary in its way as well. It's Sweet Greens and Blues, and although it was written over 50 years ago by my first husband, Austin John Marshall, it seemed to be right for the present day, the coronavirus days, because the first words are, "If we don't make it this year, let's see what next year can bring." So there's some sort of hope there. if we don't make it this year, see what next year can bring. The seasons go turning from winter to spring. The stars in their courses say we win or we lose. Can you tell me what they're saying about sweet greens and blues? We won't live in a mansion with acres of land. These neat little houses look just like we've planned. We can live in a basement, we won't miss the views, just as long as we're living with sweet greens and blues. Now the children are growing and they play round the door, and one is just 3 years, the other's about 4. They plague us with questions and mud on their shoes, but they often remind us of sweet greens and blues. Now the winter is coming with leaves turning brown. They drift through the streets of this dusty old town. Young people go walking in ones and twos. Can't you tell they're all dreaming of sweet greens and blues? Some people have asked me, what is sweet greens and blues? Well, it's anything you want it to be. Wondrous Love is, again, a song I first heard on the field recording trip with Alan Lomax in 1959. This time it was in rural Alabama, in a town, near a town called Fife. And it was a Sacred Harp big sing where congregations join, people from all over rural Alabama, and they sing these wonderful hymns, old hymns, in their sort of rough voices that are so shrill and but beautiful at the same time. It's the most incredibly lovely noise you could hope to hear. And this is one of their hymns, Wondrous Love. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this that caused my Lord of bliss to bear the dreadful cross for my soul, for my soul? To bear the dreadful cross for my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down beneath God's righteous frown, Christ laid aside his crown for my soul, for my soul. Christ laid aside his crown for my soul. And when from death I'm free, I'll sing on, I'll sing on. And when from death I'm free, I'll sing on. And when from death I'm free, I'll sing and joyful be. I'll sing and joyful be, and sing on and sing on. Through all eternity I'll sing on. That's Wondrous Love. Ian Kearey and I, Shirley Collins, we're in the middle of a heat wave in England, and it's airless as well. What can I say? It's hot. What I wanted to show you, though, was something that I was sent from one of my American friends, Scotty, who lives in Montana. A box came one day. This size box, that box, in the post. I opened it. There we go. Look. Can you see? It's this vast British ensign from a Royal Navy ship. And I figure, Scotty said that he found it when he was 16 years old, was on holiday in rural Vermont, and he found this shoved in the corner of a cabinet in a big old barn, and he didn't know, he just took it home because it was so extraordinary. I think this comes from 1812, the Battle of Lake Champlain in Vermont, which the Americans won. But isn't that an incredible souvenir of it? I'd love to know the whole story of it, if only it could speak to us. There we go. So we're back in England for the last two songs. This is a song that is sung widely throughout the countryside, or was sung by gypsy travellers as well. One of the most favourite songs of the English collection. Father, Father, build me a boat that on the ocean I'll go and float, and every king's ship that do pass by, there I'll inquire for my sailor boy. I hadn't been sailing but half an hour before I met a bold man of war. Captain, Captain, tell me true, is my sweet William on board with you? No, kind lady, he's not here, that he is drowned most breaks my fear. The other night when the wind blew high, that's when you lost your sweet sailor boy. I'll set me down, I'll write a song, I'll write it neat and I'll write it long. In every verse I will shed a tear, in every line hold sweet William dear. She wrung her hands and she tore her hair, just like a lady in deep despair. A boat against the rocks did run. How can I live now my William's gone? Tell me true. So thanks for listening. We're going to finish with a nonsense song from the countryside of England. This is called an upside down song often, and the most famous one was Nottingham in Town, which was sung by Kentucky singer Jean Ritchie. But this one, as I say, comes from the English countryside, and it's called Old Johnny Buckle. Johnny Buckle went a-riding one day. His horse got broke and his cart run away. If old Johnny Buckle hadn't come to a stop, he'd have fell from the bottom of the hill to the top. Old Mrs. Buckle went a-fishing one day. She caught her left leg in the clay. The toads and frogs all wobbled about. She ran to get a shovel to dig herself out. So old Johnny Buckle went to Dr. Hook, and he dotted it down in a little black book. Says, Mr. Buckle, you must begin to rub your wife's left leg with gin. Now old Johnny Buckle thought it a great sin to rub his wife's left leg with gin. He poured the gin down his old grobble and rubbed his wife's left leg with a bottle. God made man, man made money. God made the bees and the bees made honey. God made Satan and Satan made sin. Along comes Satan and took Johnny in. I do believe old Johnny Buckle was a gay old buckle, and old Mrs. Buckle too. Thank you. From Ian Kearey and Shirley Collins. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.